Hey everybody, how you doing? I wanted to share a video with you today because I was thinking about from a podcast episode that I did a couple of months ago, and it was in regards to the advancement of technology in a sense of between like phones, videotapes, and things that we, had back then to what we currently have right now and just the environment that we live in. So I'm going to show you a couple of things that I actually still have. Some of them probably still work if I actually take the time to plug up a cable in them. But this is gonna just kind of give you guys a good laugh in a comical sense in a way. But do you remember when you used to have the VCRs? You would have these things right here. Yeah, and all this here used to get caught all up in in the VHS player. Well, of course, we don't have to use these anymore, but they're still around, so people still have them, right? Then, of course, things got a little bit smaller. You start going on family vacations, you have your videotapes. Some people probably still use these, but then they got a little bit smaller, right? So, from what they were, they kind of got a little bit smaller in a sense, right? So then, looking at that, people then started, as movies and stuff moved forward, people started using these, of course, CDs, right? And of course, you can use them for music and that kind of stuff. And along with that process, as you know, technology evolves and things change, then things start coming out. So people will start downloading movies online. They used to illegally, but hopefully nobody's doing that anymore because of the streaming environment that we're in. So of course you have different streaming devices from your Amazon Fire Sticks to your Apple TVs and things of that nature. But sometimes people like to still kind of move movies and information from one computer to the other. So of course, you have the USB sticks. And right now, a lot of people use cloud. I use, of course, cloud technologies now. You can store stuff in the cloud, and some people, they literally think it's a cloud, but it's actually a computer somewhere somebody else owns. But some people still use these USB drives here. Now, this next one right here is going to be quite funny. When I first got a cell phone, it wasn't until after I got out of high school. But do you remember these right here? The little snake game you used to play on these? Yeah. This phone I really liked, but then you have to go to the store to buy those little green cards, and you have to load your minutes on there. You probably get like 100 minutes. Yeah, so I don't have to worry about that anymore, right? Then I thought I would get a little bit fancy after I had that phone. So I switched from this device to this device early on. And yeah, it's a flip phone. Can you imagine texting on this phone? And then the thing about it is there was no color on the screen. So I really thought that this was a really cool phone back during that time. Then, of course, I decided to upgrade. And some of you probably remember Singular, of course, when AT&T was around, but or Singular, and then, of course, when they switched over to AT&T. But this phone right here, I thought was like so neat right here because it had the little slider in the phone. And the thing that I really liked about this is, as you can see, I had a little bit of Velcro strip on the back. And if this phone was not actually Bluetooth, what it did is you could buy this little attachment that you would plug up on the side of the phone. So you would plug it in like here. Oh, that broke off there, but the back. But anyway, you would plug the Bluetooth adapter on the side, and it was like a little block that stuck out in the back. So I really thought I was doing something with this, but I did have a Bluetooth headset with this phone. Then from that device, I moved from this to this. And this right here, of course, was Siemens. It was by a Singular as well. So you see this device right here had the nice little keypad on there and everything, right? So as you can see, you put the little SIM card there in the back, and the battery pack, of course, is missing. Now, this phone had a Windows operating system on it for the phone itself, but this phone was pretty nice. And then, of course, let's see here. I did have the stylus as well with that. You can see the stylus was right there. So had that. And then, of course, went from this device to this device right here. And this was the Nokia E62. And I really liked this phone. And to me, it kind of reminded me of a BlackBerry. in a sense, you can kind of like look at it, look at the keypad there. You can see that. And then, of course, they have the battery. Pack in the back, you have to like hit that, slide the battery out. Remember these days when you used to be able to take out your battery? Yeah. And then, of course, you have the SIM card slot over here. And then you can put an SD card over here on this side. And then, as times changed, these heavy devices right here, then switch to the Razr. And remember this one? The Razr phone? Oh yeah. And surprisingly, they actually came out with a new version of this right now. And I thought that we would never see this phone again, but the new one is pretty nice. I hadn't got a chance to review that one yet, but hopefully I will get to see one of those soon. Now with this phone, what I did early on is I had two of these. I had one that was gray, and then of course one that was pink that somebody had given me that they didn't want anymore. And I had some issues with the phone. And so what I did is I actually took it apart and I kind of modded it in a sense. And this was earlier on in the day. So it was a little project I did, but yeah. And I think if I plug these up, they probably would still work. But I just wanted to go over with you just today on some of the outdated things and the technology that we currently don't use anymore. And some people probably still have these devices and everything, but hey, that's fine, nothing wrong with that, right? And gotta put the VHS tapes in there, gotta put this in there. But as technology evolves, we then start to get rid of things. And now a lot of stuff is moving to the cloud. And of course, this phone that I'm filming on right now, it's actually a phone, iPhone. I really like it a lot. But overall, sometimes we have to get rid of old things and we have to move forward. So I hope that this information was informational to you, gave you a good laugh. And yes, I'm going to keep this stuff. I'm not getting rid of it because I want to be able to show my kids this. And it just kind of gives me a reflection back on sometimes when you keep stuff like this, it gives you a reflection back of where you came from to where you currently are, like right now, and the way that we are with technology and everything. So hopefully you guys like, listen, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you again soon. Later.